So in this session, we're going to do about 15-20 minutes of movement to create length and strength in the side body. So working on strengthening the obliques and the core and finding a bit more length in our body. We spend a lot of time kind of crunched over laptops and computers and everything. So here we're trying to open, expand and create length, which will in turn help with better posture, which relieves tension in the spine and the back and just all those juicy, wonderful things. So we'll just start in a comfortable seat with the legs crossed. You can let your hands rest on your knees, close your eyes, just take a moment to land in your body. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and just connect to your breath. Some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. With every exhale, feeling your body just sink and soften into the floor. Every inhale, feel the body expand and vibrate with new energy. Take one more big breath in. Steady breath out. Gently start to open your eyes and come back into the room. Nice. So from here, we're just going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder and find some length through the left side of the neck. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the head back to center. Tuck the chin to the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Head back up to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Back up to center, right ear to right shoulder, this time bringing the right hand on top of the ear, just adding a bit of weight to the stretch. You don't need to add the hand if this feels too intense. Option to bring the left hand out to the side, thumb facing up. Release the hands, head back to center. Tuck the chin to the chest. Again, option to clasp the hands behind the head. Do not push or pull with the hands, just let the weight of the hands and gravity do the work. Draw the shoulder blades together. Release the hands, lift the head. Right ear to right shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder, whichever side you didn't do the other time, and bring the right hand overhead. Option to bring the opposite hand out to the side, thumb facing up. Come back to center. Release the hands. Roll the shoulders a couple of times here. And bring the right hand behind you, left hand to thigh. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist to the right. Just a gentle little twist here. Don't over-exaggerate. Just let the upper body start to release. Come back to center, and then over to the left. Left hand comes behind, right hand comes to thigh. Twisting the chest open, drawing the left shoulder back. Come back to center. Bring the right hand to the mat beside you. Lift the left hand up and overhead, side body lengthening. Draw the left hip down and draw the left shoulder back in space. Maybe you gaze under that underarm. Keep the left fingertips engaged here. Don't just sag the arm, Put some effort into it. Strengthening and lengthening here. And then switch sides. Left hand beside you. Right arm up and overhead. Again, reach through the right fingertips, draw the right shoulder back and down. Create some length and space through the chest and the collarbones. And then bring that right hand back down beside you. Bring the hands in front, roll onto the knees, and find your tabletop position. Move through a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale, drop the belly down, draw the shoulders back, gaze forwards. Exhale, tuck around, dome through the back. Inhale, drop the belly down, shoulders back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck around. Really nice. One more of those. Inhale into your cow pose, front leg opening. Exhale into your cat pose, back body opening. Come back to neutral. From here, walk the left hand slightly further forwards and more to the center of the mat. Turn the left toes out to the side and then straighten that right leg and come onto the big toe edge of the right foot. Reach that right arm up and overhead for a very modified version of side plank here. Option to reach the right arm over the ear and internally rotate that right arm. Maybe gazing underneath the underarm, maybe gazing up to the top hand. And then release this, bring the right hand back down to the mat, bring both knees back down. Move through another round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly down. Exhale, tuck around. Come back to neutral. Do this on the other side. So walk the right hand slightly further forwards into the center of the mat and turn the right toes out to the side. Straighten that left leg coming onto the big toe edge and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Again, maybe you gaze at the hand or maybe you reach that top arm overhead and internally rotate so the pinky finger is trying to reach towards the mat. Breathe into the left side body, the left rib cage. And then release, left hand comes back down to the mat. Both knees come back down. One more cat-cow, inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Walk the hands slightly further forwards, tuck the toes, lift up into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet a couple of times, just waking up the legs. And then from here, roll onto the toes and round and dome the shoulders into your high plank. Bend the knees, press the chest back towards the thighs, stretch the shoulders here a little bit. And then come back into your downward dog. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the heels over to the right side of the mat. So find some stretch and length through the left side waist. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, drop the heels over to the left, breathing into the right side waist. Come back to center and take a breath here in your downward dog. Reach the right leg high to the sky on an inhale. And on the exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Reach the arms up and overhead into your high lunge. You can bend the back knee slightly here to help square off the hips. Maybe even bringing the right thumb into the crease of the right hip and draw that right hip back. You want to have the feet about hips distance apart to keep you nice and stable, and then reach the arms overhead. Really nice. And then from here, you're going to twist to the right, Bring that right hand to the back of the leg behind you and reach the left arm overhead. So a slight twist with the side body lengthening. Still a nice juicy bend in that front leg. If this is too much for you, you can always lower the left knee down and do this with that back knee lowered. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, frame the front foot. Step that right foot back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes high to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps forwards in between the hands. Inhale, reach up, high lunge. Stay for a few moments here, square off the hips, left hip back, right hip forwards, little bend in that back knee. And then from here, twist to the left, bring that left hand behind you and reach the right arm overhead. Inhale, come back to the center, and exhale, frame the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa to transition in between sides. Inhale, roll forwards into a high plank position. Option to keep the knees lifted or lowered. And on the exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, press the tops of the feet down to the mat and lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift into your downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. I'm just going to switch sides so that you can see me fully when I come into the next position. From your downward dog, bring both feet to touch at the back of the mat. Then on the inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. And on the exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Lower the left heel down and windmill the arms up to a T, coming into your warrior two position. Root down through the pinky toe edge of the back foot and engage that right glute, draw the right hip back behind you. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches overhead. Stay for a few breaths. Keep a nice bend once again in that front leg. And come back through to your warrior two and find your side angle posture. So maybe you bring right hand to thigh, maybe you bring a block to the inside of the right foot and place your right hand here. With the left arm, start by sweeping it down and then overhead to create that perfect rotation of the shoulder in this posture. Draw the left shoulder back and create an opening in the chest, pressing the chest open to the right. And come back through to your warrior two. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, frame your front foot and come high on the back toes. From here, inhale, lunge forwards. Exhale, straighten and lengthen that front leg. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to lengthen. One more lunge forwards. And then exhale, lengthen that front leg. Stay for a couple of breaths here. Option to place your hands on blocks to help you lift out of the posture slightly and keep the upper body nice and long. And then from here, lunge forwards once again. Bring the left hand to slightly further forwards into the center of the mat, and then roll onto the pinky toe edge of both feet. Heel toe that right foot about halfway down the mat. Root down through the sole of the right foot to lift the hips nice and high. Reach the right arm up and overhead. Option to reach the right arm over the ear if that feels comfortable. Final option is to come into your full Vashisthasana side plank and step that right foot on top of the left. Now try and stay nice and stable here. Take a few breaths. And whichever version you're in, bring the right hand down to the mat. Step both feet back and find your downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to breathe, catch your breath. Side plank can be a very strong position. And then bring the big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, reach the left leg high to the sky. And exhale, step the left foot forwards in between the hands. Lower the right heel down and windmill the hands up through to your warrior two. Draw left hip back behind you and engage the left glute. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Find length in both the left sideways and the right sideways, so don't crunch into that right hip. Really nice. Come back through to your warrior two. Find your side angle, left forearm to thigh, sweep the right arm down and then overhead. Twist the chest open. Press the forearm into thigh, or if you have your hand on the block, into the block to create leverage to once again lift out of that left hip. Come back through to your warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. Option for hands on blocks. If you have them, inhale, press the chest forwards. Exhale, straighten and lengthen the front leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale to lengthen. One more lunge forwards. Inhale. Exhale to lengthen. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Finding length through the back of the left leg. And then lunge forwards once again. Pop the blocks off to the side. Bring the right hand slightly further forwards into the center of the mat this time and roll onto the pinky toe edge of both feet. Heel toe that left foot halfway down the mat. And once again, root down through the feet to lift the hips nice and high. Reach the top arm to the ceiling or overhead. And again, final option, if you feel stable and steady enough in your shoulders, step that left foot on top of the right. Keep the hips nice and high. Engage the belly button into the spine. Breathe into your side body. And then to release, come and bring the left hand back down onto the mat. Step both feet back. Option for a vinyasa if you would like one. Inhale, high plank. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale, either baby cobra, maybe even an upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Then bring the knees down onto the mat and sit the hips off to one side. Gently lower yourself onto your back and draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. And then from here, shift the hips over to the left and let the knees fall to the right. You can cactus the arms or maybe bring them to a T and gaze over the left shoulder. Take a few breaths here. Draw the knees back to center. Give yourself another squeeze. And then shift the hips to the right. Let the knees fall to the left. Gaze over the right shoulder this time. Come back to center. For the last time, hug the knees into the chest. Really nice. Then from here, option to find a Shavasana or start to rock and roll up and down your spine 2 or 3 times. Coming back to seated and continuing with your day. Hope you enjoyed this side body lengthening practice. Namaste.